4:30, because I've been getting up, like, sometimes I just, I can't sleep, and I'm like, all right, I got stuff to do, I might as well.
Let's just get up.
But it's nice to know that there's somebody else awake,
He's
4:30.
nuts.
It is nuts.
I said, who does that? Who gets up that early? Hire
Well,
someone.
there are a lot of people, I know, but.
God love him, but.
And then, you think it's like 5 o'clock, and you look at the clock, oh, it's only 12. I gotta
It's time for bed.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
People are gonna start thinking things of me that I'm falling asleep at 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Well, some people have made a career of that. Well, I'm hoping we can get this Lifflin thing resolved, so we don't.
Oh, I see that I have to do the deposition.
Yeah, but, we're in court tomorrow, so I'm gonna try to, if we get the thing, if Tom, we're not, nobody tapes on it.
It's going live in a second, so
Okay,
I would
yeah.
stop now. It doesn't turn on till 6:57. It's 6:57 now.
Oh, man, that's dangerous.
I know, it's crazy. I know.
I had that happen to me in high school once. I was saying something about somebody that was mean. I shouldn't have been saying it. But he was in the other room, and it was a live stream, it was like a video class. And little did I know there was a live stream.
That's always fun, isn't
He
it?
came at me, and I felt so bad, because it was one of those, oh, he doesn't know how to do it, it was like that kind of, yeah.
You were being really snarky. How'd you get out of that one, Dave?
I never did. I never, I said as an adult, I said, if I ever run into that guy, I'm gonna apologize. But I never did. So I said, all right, well, it's not that important.
He's gonna be like, have you really been harboring this all this time,
Yeah,
Dave?
yeah.
It's okay, I got over it.
Yeah. Feels good when you do that, though. I did that with it another time too. It's like, people do remember too.
They
They
do, it's so
remember when
funny.
people are mean to them. Well, you remember. Those are those things they don't
Yes.
go away.
I think when you're younger, you remember more. As you
Oh,
get
yeah.
older, it's just
Oh,
so
of course,
normal that
yeah.
you're like, whatever, another person.
The really good stuff and the really bad stuff, unfortunately. But
Nice, Steve.
What's that?
Nice, Steve.
You're right.
I think I've done it on camera before.
There's not a camera. Is there a camera too?
Yeah, right behind your head.
Oh.
It just catches the board though, so you really don't see people.
Oh, so this is a good place to sit.
Yes, we might catch the top of your head.
I did. Very good. Thank you for noticing.
Nice.
Every 3 years or so.
Bring your shorts.
Letting us get through.
No, I thought he was.
I don't mind.
No, I'm not, yeah.
He tries every time
Hey,
you suck him.
thanks
into
for
the
forwarding
fence.
that email.
Yeah. I
Arthur
forgot
gets
to
to go
call.
back to his.
That's right.
I must, because he's responding to other ones. So
He's
no,
usually so-
No, I know it, and I called him, and,
Yeah,
he's away now, so.
Oh, he's out of town?
I'm wondering whether just.
No, it's- Yeah, we've got.
Want to look at?
There's nobody here.
Yeah.
And I gotta get myself set up.
Do you know in high schools in New York, Pledge of
Um,
Allegiance is optional?
Good evening and welcome to the
You know-
July
I didn't know that.
17th Village Board Meeting. If you could please join me for Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We're learning to touch on
The what?
it. All right, Dan, you're up with the MTA trunk sewer replacement project.
I didn't have an agenda, so I wasn't looking at it. We have,
So we have the resolution designated the Village of Pauling as seeker lead agency, but
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, so you have before you a resolution designating you as seeker lead for the purpose of reviewing the trunk sewer project. And we did a circulation to all the interested and involved agencies indicating that you wanted to do that. The 30-day period is up. If you choose to be lead agency, this resolution will make you the lead agency.
Okay.
And then at your next meeting, no, I think it's tonight. Tonight, if you do designate yourself as neg deck, there's a continuation of this resolution or another one that does a neg deck, that there isn't a major environmental problem here that requires you to do a DEIS.
Okay.
Get close enough?
I don't know about you two sitting together.
Whispering to each other.
Thank you, Whisper.
All right, does anybody have any questions regarding that?
I mean, it's quite a big project, but we've been talking about getting this done. This is where we constantly have the backups and issues, and, it's gotta get done.
The pipe goes back and forth across the tracks. This will make it a straight run, easier to maintain, easier to keep it clean, and straight into the plant.
All right,
Right.
so the resolution, basically, therefore be resolved that the Village of Pauling Board of Trustees hereby establishes themselves as lead agency for review of the proposed action pursuant to the requirements of the State Environmental Quality Review Act. Can I get a motion to make that designation?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And do we need to do a roll?
Lori Taylor,
Yes.
John Berwicker.
Yes?
Jerry Lucasio,
Yes.
Stephen Pasella,
Yes.
Arthur Guzzo.
Yes.
Okay.
Mayor, I think you should
I don't-
also, I don't see a resolution
I don't know
here
either.
for the neg deck.
That's what I'm
But,
confused about.
but you had seeker environmental long-form EAF in front of you.
Yes.
You've seen
So
all
we'll
of
just
that.
take a motion to accept the neg deck.
To declare that there isn't an impact large enough to cause you to do a DEIS.
Yeah, I was looking
Is that
for
the-
another resolution, but I'm not
I
seeing.
Is that the unlisted action portion? Because that's within the resolution.
Well, that it won't have a significant impact on the environment. It's not likely to have a significant impact on that would be the
That's within
resolution,
this.
that you'd be adopting a declaration that this proposed action is not gonna have a significant impact on the environment, and,
Because
I
that's
just.
within the body of the.
Yeah, well,
resolution.
just for the record, I mean, there's a very extensive EAF which runs through all of the potential
Right.
impacts and, demonstrates in great detail why there won't be any
Mhm.
significant impact.
So by passing
on-
this, what we just did covers both.
Well, no, the resolution that I just mentioned, you're gonna want, you're the lead agency.
Okay.
And now you've got, I'm assuming everyone's gone through the EAF, and, which as Dan was saying, there are no, impacts of significance noted, so there's really nothing else to do other than just declare that it won't have a significant impact on the environment. Unless a negative declaration is issued.
So we just need to make that a motion,
Motion.
that there's
Yep.
no.
Okay.
Okay. So I'll make a motion that there is no environmental impacts due to this project.
No significant.
No
yeah,
significant
not-
environmental
not likely.
impacts
Yep.
due to this MTA trunk sewer replacement project.
I'll second it.
Any questions? All in favor, say aye.
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 Now we got it covered.
Thank you.
That was rough.
Hmm.
All right, and then we have the bond resolution. Dan, do you wanna walk us through that, or
Yes.
Dave, one of you?
You have before you a bond resolution prepared by bond counsel for your consideration. It establishes the maximum amount for a project to construct this trunk sewer of $2,000,000.
$69,796.
Yes, thank you. And if you pass this resolution, then that would establish the maximum that can be spent on this project without redoing a bond resolution. The bond resolution is required as part of the application to EFC. So this, if you pass this tonight, it will go to Jennifer, and she will package it on the EFC website, showing that the board has accepted the bond amount in the project and is willing to finance it.
And through financing, we should be able to qualify for some grants, correct?
The whole purpose of this is we're making an application for grant and loan. Traditionally, EFC pays about half of the project cost as a gift, a grant. The village was successful in demonstrating that the income within the village proper is low enough to qualify you on the water side for a zero interest loan. We believe that that same would be true for the wastewater side, qualifying you for a zero interest loan for whatever the balance is between the grant amount and the final project amount, making it significantly less costly for the users.
Okay. Anybody have any questions regarding that?
No.
Can I get a motion to approve this bond resolution?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay.
It is subject to a permissive referendum, so that process will be fine.
Okay.
Dave, do you recall what the percentage of the,
20?
that may want to
20?
call?
I believe it's 20. Is that what you're asking?
Yeah,
To-
yeah.
to- Yeah, I believe it's 20. I'll double check, but, yeah.
It says in here it's a roll call vote, is that,
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm not sure if that's,
I reflect it as a roll vote, so I can do it. Let's do it.
Okay.
Mayor Lori Taylor,
Yes.
trustee John Berwicker.
Yes.
Trustee Jerry Lucio.
yes.
Trustee Arthur Guzzo.
Yes.
Trustee Stephen Fidel.
Yes.
Okay, do we wanna just move along while Dave looks into it?
Sure. Yeah.
All right, so, you have the draft IMA, revised IMA, for the Pulling Joint Sewer Commission. Months ago, the Sewer Commission had voted to allow for a second seat from the town and also an alternate from the town. Then the village and the town voted that in as well, and so now this is the IMA, the revised draft IMA that allows or shows that second town seat and alternate. So at last Thursday's sewer commission meeting, that was agreed upon again from the sewer commission. The town has already passed it, so this is just for the village to approve the IMA as it stands, allowing for that second town seat and an alternate, so.
There's no change from this, from what we
The
voted on?
only change that occurred was, if you remember, it was in there as April as a reorganizational
got it,
meeting, that
okay.
got changed back to January.
Okay.
So that is reflected in this, revision.
That's fine.
So, does anybody have any questions? Can I entertain a motion to approve this now?
I'll make the motion to, for the updated IMA regarding the second seat and an alternate for the town on the sewer commission, on the joint sewer commission.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, so I'm not sure with the two new board members, but there are stormwater regulations that started back in EPA, back in 2003 from EPA, to protect water quality, and that was then passed on to New York State DEC, who then so nicely passed it on to all the local municipalities, and it's been considered an unfunded mandate that we've been having to jump through hoops and report on, and all sorts of things that we have to do. So it has changed over the years, the requirements, new permit is coming out any day. We've been told that for over a year, so we're not sure when that's coming. But part of it that we hadn't been able to do up until now was mapping of all of our catch basins and the outlets from those catch basins, what streams they're going into, or if they're going into a rock lined or a sediment basin. And so the state wants us to map all of that. So we were successful in coming together with the town of Pauling to get a grant to actually do this mapping. So as part of that mapping, we purchased Trimble handhelds, one for our highway department, one for our water department, so that we can start now recording information while they're out in the field, if there's a water main break, what size pipe is there, if there's sewer backups or any of those kind of issues. It all can go into a database. So then to have it be a working map, it is then part of GIS. And Esri is the company that we work with for GIS mapping. So in order to do that mapping, we need software. So that's what this invoice is for. This is the proposal for us to get this software so that we can then utilize Trimble handhelds to download all of the information into a database within GIS so that we can map it. It will be an interactive. You can put as much information as you want in there. You can pull up and say that I only want these, catch basins with sumps, or catch basins without sumps, or, you can really manipulate it and use it to what your needs are. So this will be covered by the grant funding. So I just wanted to get board approval to be able to now finally purchase the software that we desperately need to get this project going.
This is an annual fee?
There will be an annual fee, yes.
Yeah.
So the annual subscription is the $770.
And it looks like it's annual for the
Oh, it's annual.
Mobile and, mobile
creators.
Okay, so yeah.
Okay.
So it's for the two handhelds and the computer that we put it on in the office, the software, so yeah.
Okay.
So it's basically will be on 3 entities, the 2 handhelds plus the desktop in the office. So this would be an annual, yes.
You have to have it, so.
Yeah, yeah. Anybody have any other questions regarding it?
No.
All right, so can I get a motion to approve this?
I'll make that motion.
All right, second.
I'll second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
It is 20%.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you, Dave. All right, Dan, you're up for the RFP Wellfield contract number 1 for Lower Baxter.
Thank you. You have before you a proposal from American Pump, which we have reviewed and recommend approving. It conforms with the village's procurement requirements. It also conforms with EFC standard terms and conditions, meaning that this work will be reimbursable as part of the grant and loan program. It is necessary to get the well field aspects of the project up to a point where those wells can be connected to the water treatment plant that you're out and on the street for advertised for bids. This work will allow the village to use, once it's done, to allow the village to use any of the Lower Baxter wells as an adjunct to the current water supply before the water treatment plant is completed, provided we get permission to do so from DEC, DOH. We have permission to use that water from DEC. So this puts us in a position to be much more flexible with the operation of our water supply. Thank you.
So do you need a motion regarding this,
Uh,
or?
Yes, I think it would be good if the board approved
Okay,
the award of this.
so does anybody have any questions with what Dan has presented?
No.
All right, so then can I get a motion for approving this?
I'll make the motion for, to give the contract to American Pump Services for $34,500.
All right, I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
So, last item in our regular agenda is, discussion regarding the Chamber of Commerce bathrooms. Not sure that everybody is aware, but at the, we've been having problems on and off with these bathrooms over the years. We spent quite a bit of money redoing the bathrooms, how many months ago? Not that long ago. Earlier in the spring?
The sewer pipes.
Yes,
The-
the
Yeah,
sewer.
the pump was put in
Was it fall?
March, April
March, that's what I thought, or the spring. So, we thought everything was fixed, and then the first large event that we had here in the village, the car show, the annual car show, they backed up and clogged, I don't even know if they got halfway through the day. So, I don't even think they did, to be honest. So, we're still continuing to have issues. It's not necessarily the pipe, it's not the pump, it's what people are flushing. So, I wanna bring it up for discussion, and my thoughts are that the bathrooms are there for everyday shoppers that come to the village and wanna shop. It's for the chamber volunteers that are sitting there helping people that are here, whether it be our residents, our local community residents, or people traveling here from distances. But I think moving forward, large events, any sizable events, I think probably we might need to set a policy where they have to rent porta-johns so that we're not continuing to have to repair these bathrooms. Not only did we have to repair them, but then we had to ask, pay for someone to come in and do all the cleaning afterwards because they had all backed up. So it's,
Well, are we sure that the failure was a result of misuse of the bathrooms, or is there something else inherent in the system where it wasn't working right?
we knew there was problems with the bathroom over the years where
Yeah.
there wasn't something working.
Right, no, yeah.
But we
no-
then went and spent
Yeah, a lot of money to
over
rectify
10
that.
grand, I think, or
Yeah.
somewhere in that
It was-
neighborhood.
it was
20
over
grand?
20,
It was
yeah.
over 20 grand we
Between buying
spent
the pump
Yeah.
and
to
installing.
do all new piping with a new pump and a new connection to our sewer, thinking that we're good. And it's still backed up. And when the pump was pulled, there was nothing wrong with the pump. So,
I mean, was it traceable to just someone flushing like paper towels? We didn't even have paper towels there. I mean, we don't even have paper towels in the bathroom.
no, and I don't wanna go through the laundry list of things that we know happen.
Yeah.
Mayor, may I comment? I called Rooney about this. He was the guy that did the electrical
Yep.
connections for the village. And asked him if, for example, is it possible we had a breaker that tripped at a lower voltage than the system drew? Typically, if you had a extra grinding or something plugging it, the power requirement
Mhm.
would go up, and you might expect it to trip, which, that could have happened, except the snaking out didn't show it, and the pump itself didn't show it. Rooney's gonna be in town Wednesday on another matter that I'm gonna discuss on the engineer's report. And he and I are gonna go over there, and he's gonna do some sort of test to tell us whether the breaker is tripping at a lower draw than it should. So there may be an answer, partial answer for this.
Okay.
But I don't know.
All right, thank you.
So I can say that the merchants committee, we've had conversations with them, with Henry,
Mhm.
and they had the block party here.
Yeah.
And he has no issue with renting a couple porta johns to make sure that everything goes without an issue. So, again, this is at a discussion point, but I know we can't keep, having this expense either.
Right, so-
Well, but another option might be to have the chamber be responsible for monitoring the bathrooms when they have a big
But you
event
can't,
and paying
John.
for the cleaning.
But you can't monitor the bathroom. How are you gonna monitor the bathroom to know that someone didn't flush something down while they were in the stall?
Well, but then maybe they should, I'm just suggesting that maybe they should be responsible for taking care of any pluggage during a big event. I mean, they're getting the place for free. You
Yeah,
know,
but, so
and-
we're asking them to get the porta johns, that way then there's no issue. So I mean,
Well, are we gonna block off the other bathrooms entirely?
yes, they're locked off, so.
So, you know, you can't do
so-
any hand washing or anything, then you're gonna be just stuck
Well,
with the.
not all porta johns, but quite a few of them come with a hand.
Right, well, if they're the deluxe ones, you know,
Yeah.
that have the shower and all those
Well,
things.
not that
Changing
deluxe.
room.
I mean, that's one thing, but,
Um,
I mean, we did the whole bathroom thing to really,
Oh, I know, but it.
benefit the village and benefit events that we have. I mean, again, the porta potties may be a reasonable solution, but I am not opposed to the chamber assuming some responsibility as well.
Also, I think on another caveat with that is, the bathrooms are open now when the chamber is
When
occupied.
there's a chamber volunteer there.
When there's a chamber
Yeah.
volunteer there. Some of the events that occur in the village are not during those times, and they're
Right.
requesting the bathrooms be open for them.
So that's.
During off times, so now there's no one in the chamber, yet they want the bathrooms open for
Right.
it. And how do you say yes to one group and no to another?
Yeah.
So it becomes kind of a,
Well,
That's how I've been looking
Yeah.
at it, as they are there for the village on a normal day in the village. But when we know there's gonna be these big events, it's better to have the porta johns for those.
what are the hours of the restrooms being open right now?
I think it's 10 to 4.
And that's
On
on the
most
time block?
days, no,
Oh,
not now.
so we don't have the
The
volunteers will
volunteers, so
open
the
and
first
close it.
one
Okay.
unlocks them, and the
Got it.
last one, so I think
Okay.
Sundays are only there till 2, but most all the other days 10 to 4.
Okay.
Sometimes that changes, so it's hard to know
Okay.
for
yeah,
sure.
and one of the
but-
examples would be the farmer's market. They
Yeah.
started arriving at 8, it opens at 9.
Yeah,
So they were asking if it could be opened early. So I just don't think it's fair that we make the merchants that have a block party get porta johns.
I understand what
You
you're saying,
know.
I get it. Yeah.
Well, then, would
It's a tax
farmers
base,
markets
that's what it
need
is.
this, the port
So
potties?
the manager of the farmer's market stopped me at the farmer's market 2 weeks ago and said that, she would like the bathrooms to be open earlier. And I said, right now, our policy is they're not open unless the chamber volunteers are there. I said, if you have a specific need, you may want to get a porta john.
Right.
So when we had the bathrooms were closed all last summer because of the problems with the bathrooms, they rented a porta john, they kept a lock on it, it was for their use only. And so she said, if that's what I need to do, I'll do it. So, as far as I know, I don't know if there's one located there yet, but she was gonna get a porta john. So,
And we can continue the conversation maybe, down the road. When the trunk line gets repaired, maybe that has,
maybe, I don't
Yeah.
know. So,
The trunk line wouldn't have affected the grinder pump and this part of the sewer.
okay.
That was
So-
way down.
so basically, Dan, you're gonna be talking to somebody on Wednesday. This
Yeah.
was a discussion point. It's not necessarily that we need to make that decision
Mhm.
tonight. So let's see what transpires on Wednesday with the electrical person and see, what those answers might be, and then we can circle back and discuss this again.
Do we know for sure if the circuit breaker blew, or we don't even know that?
We know an alarm went off.
Okay.
We know when we snaked the line from the building to the grinder pump, it was clear.
It was.
We know when the pump was pulled out, it was clear. So I can't tell you this is what happened.
Right, okay.
I'm hoping when Rooney, who did the electrical work, can check his equipment, because maybe it was an electrical fail. I don't know.
Right.
So, here's another thought though, I'm sorry, Dan, I didn't mean to.
No,
cut you
no,
off.
no.
I'm just thinking. So, the car show, as an example, I think the bathrooms were clogged. Now, this was an all-day event. The bathrooms were clogged probably late morning. So that whole afternoon, now there is no bathrooms
Yeah,
whatsoever.
right.
And that's what I don't wanna see.
I see what you're saying.
Because
So
that
the
was,
porta johns would eliminate that.
at least if you
Yeah.
have the porta johns,
Right, yeah.
you're not having that issue.
Yeah.
It feels safe.
It's a fail-safe.
Yeah.
I was embarrassed and felt horrible that here's, we have somewhere between 200 and 300 cars.
Right.
You figure at least one
One
person per
person,
car, and then you have people that come just to see the car
Right.
show. So you have a lot of people in the village and there were no public restrooms. So to me, that's worse than
And
asking
right, not having any.
the events to have porta
Right.
johns. Because now no one has a bathroom.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
Yeah, that's true.
So I would be nervous to say that we're gonna rely on the bathrooms and have them clog again.
Right.
And if we don't have the porta johns as backup or have them there or whatever, it's just,
Yeah.
and again, they're outside, most events are outside the window. Either they're starting earlier than when the chamber volunteers are, or they're staying late,
Later.
way past when a chamber volunteer is there. And so that's why, to me, the bathrooms are there for people that
Right.
come here
And-
to shop
Yeah.
in the village on a regular day and not for events.
Can I ask you a question? I've never been in them. Is it single person occupancy, a men's room and a women's room?
Just two
Just
unisex
two okay.
bathrooms.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So, anyway, just, we
Okay.
can think about it, let's get some more information, and then we'll see what we wanna do. All right, Dan.
Yeah, the only thing that I would like to share with the board, from an engineering standpoint, is we're out on the street to receive bids for the Lower Baxter Water Treatment Plant. One of the electrical contractors called our staff and said, the transformers to take primary power and make it secondary power are 24 months out to acquire, which is not acceptable. I mean, we have to find a solution where we can use Lower Baxter before 24 months are up. So I challenged our electrical engineering team members to think about, is it possible to use the transformers that are there today serving the existing Baxter plant and run secondary power down to the new plant with a separate meter, so we'd have meters for both. I am meeting NYSEG on Wednesday out at the site. The electrical engineer will be either videoing in or cell phoning in, and we'll have a discussion about whether those transformers are big enough to do both, whether NYSEG, who owns those transformers, will be kind enough to replace them with bigger ones. How can we get around not waiting 24 months for service? And so, however that falls out, I will report back to Lori before I leave this week.
Okay, thank you, Dan. Okay. All right, can I get a motion to approve the May bills in the amount of $19,744.43?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Can I get a motion to approve the EFC LT number 5 in the amount of $12,545.77?
So moved.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Can I get a motion to approve the July 10th, 2023 prepaids in the amount of $1,912.60?
So moved.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And can I get a motion to approve the June bills in the amount of $79,182.11?
So moved.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
No one's jumping in.
I thought it was AI.
So can I get a motion to adjourn the regular meeting and go into executive session for litigation?
Mayor, if I
sorry.
may, yeah, that's okay.
I'm sorry.
No, but before we adjourn, do you want to address any of the issues with the highway department, with the flooding and?
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
So we had, sorry, thank you, Jerry, for
Yeah.
that. So we had this severe weather last Sunday, and some areas got hit pretty hard. The Allison Drive, West Main Street area got hit pretty hard. We had some other road outages, temporary outages. Corbin Road, one of our pump stations was flooded out. The road was closed for a while.
Dutcher,
Dutcher Road at South Street was closed.
Charles Coleman.
We had Charles Coleman by Perino's Greenhouses was closed. And we have a culvert at the end of Lakeside Drive where it meets Old 55. That sustained some fair amount of damage so that now cannot be reopened. So we worked, I was able to call the county emergency services and ask for some assistance. They put us in touch with county DPW. So Jim, our highway superintendent, was able to get Jersey barriers brought out and signage that we didn't have so that we can securely close that and make the one-way coming from West Main onto Lakeside, making that a temporary two-way where you have to stop, make sure nobody's coming, and then proceed.
All the signage is up for that now too. They finally
Yeah.
got that up.
So, we have homeowners sprinkled around in different areas, flooding, oh yeah, West Main Street was flooded out, that was pretty severe. So we are working with our building department, identifying all of the homes that have sustained flooding. And tomorrow morning, there's a meeting with FEMA and Congressman's office, county executive, and state representatives to hopefully secure funding from FEMA for municipally damaged property and then also for homeowners. So that meeting is taking place tomorrow morning, so we're hoping for the best with that.
Is the homeowner portion of that tomorrow as well, or?
It's gonna start a
the process,
conversation.
start the conversation.
Yeah, I do know, Jared, you wanna fill in that, you know, Jim was able to pick up some stuff, or?
Yeah, so the highway crews were out during their regular routine pickup of garbage, which was delayed due to the flooding. Those guys were very busy, but people had put stuff out in black garbage bags that had some flood damage, some personal effects, things like that. They picked up a large volume, more so than they normally do. We're not at the point yet where they're able to do furniture, construction debris, or anything like that. We're not sure actually how to even tackle that. So we're having that discussion, and hopefully we'll have some answers for the homeowners. But soon. But people that had clothes that were damaged and small items, if they could put it out with their regular trash, as long as it's in a black bag and they can pick it up. They'll be picking, you know, again, going around on Monday and picking up.
Okay. Does anybody have anything else that was not an agenda item? Sorry, I forgot to ask. No? Okay, so thank you, Jerry, for that. So now can I get a motion to close the meeting? I would say go into public comment, but we don't have that. So if I could get a motion to close the regular meeting, go into executive session for litigation.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dan.
Thank you, Dan.
Jennifer, after.
Come in front of me, John, it's
Oh,
in front of
come
me, walk up
on.
the stairs, I'm 900 years old.
All right, I guess we have to come down again, right?
Yes.
All right, so I'll leave it like that.
Good night.
Good night.
No. Nice try.
Yeah, that's gonna be my answer.
I'm getting hungry.
Oh, you're over there.
Don't you get out that bad, huh?
I'll tell you that one.
Too much closer to the door.
All right. Can I get a motion to close executive session, please?
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And get a motion to open regular session back up.
moved.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
There were no decisions or votes taken in executive session. May I have a motion to close regular session?
So moved. I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Thank
Good
you.
night.